You're watching the Alabama Weather Network.
I'm meteorologist Bill Murray, and here's your final Sunday briefing of September 2025, this September 28th. And it was on this date back in 1998 that we were watching the landfall of Hurricane George on the Mississippi Gulf Coast near Biloxi. And, of course, it had huge impacts in Alabama, including a lot of storm surge in Mobile and Baldwin counties. Top winds were 110 miles an hour. The central pressure at landfall 964 millibars. We observed storm surge of 7 to 12 feet across Mobile and Baldwin counties, including nearly 9 feet at the state docks. The Mobile Causeway was inundated, and I-10 was shut down by freshwater flooding at the Alabama-Florida state line. This widespread freshwater flooding was caused by this incredible rainfall. 38.46 inches of rain at Munson, Florida, and there was widespread 20 to 30 inch rainfall. 40 plus tornadoes, including 9 in Alabama, that caused a lot of damage. 615 total fatalities across the Atlantic basin, most of those in Hispaniola, though. Not very many in the United States. Great warnings, great forecasts, lots of great response. So Hurricane George was a Category 2 hurricane at landfall in Mississippi, and a big impact here in Alabama. Low temperatures so far today across the state, fairly comfortable, ranging from the lower 60s up north to 70 at the Gulf beaches. No advisories across the state early on this Sunday morning, and don't need to see the temperatures twice, but dew points, wouldn't mind seeing those again because they're pretty decent, especially over in the northwestern part of the state where they're in the upper 50s. Other dew points are in the middle 60s across the middle part of Alabama. Wind speeds this morning are low. We'll be keeping an eye on those as we go into the middle and latter part of the week, as our tropical system to the east begins to potentially impinge on the northeastern parts of Alabama with some gusty winds. No direct serious impacts. Just partly cloudy skies today. Can't rule out a spot shower. Temperatures are going to be warm above normal again. Middle 80s over the eastern part of the state, upper 80s in the central part of the state, to some lower 90s as you see there over the west central part. Any showers that do form will die out pretty quickly, and skies will become fair overnight. Temperature is going to fall back into the lower and middle 60s again across the state. Current alerts across the country right now. We've got flash flood watches out in New Mexico and the areas around El Paso in West Texas. We've got tropical storm watches and warnings on the east coast of Florida, where the effects of what will eventually be Imelda are going to be felt. And we can see cloudiness and rain there being shown on the SATRAD in the Bahamas, and sort of a predecessor rain event up the east coast there ahead of that frontal system, that trough that we've been seeing. Some showers showing up in New Mexico and Colorado out west. The severe weather outlook today is limited to that same area in New Mexico and Texas. Tomorrow we don't have anything on the board, and I don't know what C means. I have to fix that in a minute, but that's your day 3, which is for Tuesday, and it has nothing on the board. I don't think we're going to see anything in the way of severe thunderstorms, or, well, we wouldn't see severe thunderstorms. We'd see tornadoes with the landfalling tropical cyclone, but Imelda's not going to make landfall. This is your day 1 excessive rainfall outlook. One there along the Atlantic seaboard from North Carolina down to Florida, and large area out there in the Four Corners region with the monsoonal pattern they've got. Tomorrow that shifts more to California, Nevada, and to Idaho, and the focus starts to shift to the southeast coast, and that's where it stays on Tuesday. The rainfall outlook keeps now most of the heavy rain offshore with Imelda, which is great news because we don't need extensive flooding like we were talking about on Friday, as the system was either going to come inland or a lot closer to the coast. Now, the expected turn of Imelda is going to be much further offshore. This is Umberto, the dominant feature you see there, looking like a buzzsaw in the Atlantic this morning. That system, of course, still has top winds of 155 miles an hour, just below Category 6 status. It's about 500 miles to the south of Bermuda this morning, and it is going to continue moving to the northwest and slowly weakening. It'll go through an eye wall replacement today. But there to the west, you see increasing convection associated there over the central and southern Bahamas with Tropical Depression number 9. This is the track of Umberto. You see it, maintaining Category 4 status through Monday, staying a major hurricane as it tracks west of Bermuda. That's going to happen on Tuesday. About a 50% chance they're going to see tropical storm force winds there. Tropical Depression 9 is our biggest problem. Central pressure is down this morning to 1,003 millibars, top winds 35 miles an hour. It'll track near Nassau and Freeport, becoming a hurricane. And I know my timing monikers there are all jammed up because of this slowdown in this turn, but it'll become a hurricane late Monday night, early Monday, or early Tuesday. But you can see that expected turn, and we're getting good confidence. It's not poured completely in concrete. So if you're watching this, you're one of our weather ambassadors. You're generally very interested in weather, or maybe you tip the scale as one of our weather ambassadors. So, make sure your friends, family, business associates, in the Carolinas, Georgia, Northeast Florida, are aware of this and paying attention and know to have their hurricane plans, because, if this thing, slips the noose and doesn't make the turn, it's going to bring more significant impacts to places like Charleston, Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, even Savannah in coming days. We'll have to watch that. This is the European. And it kind of tells us what's going on here. You see the big ridge over the Atlantic. Umberto's going to eat away at that, and as that weakens and kind of shifts to the east, that's going to open the door here for Imelda, which is what Tropical Depression 9 will become, to sharply turn to the right and move out to sea, which is good that it goes ahead and does this, because you see that over the top ridge developing there across the mid-Atlantic and into the northeast. So, it's good that this thing goes ahead and does that and not become a problem for us in the southeast for days. This is the GFS model, fans, showing rain and storms there, either onshore or just offshore the Florida East Coast through Monday into Monday night. They're going to see some strong winds. But here, by Tuesday, this thing slows down, stalls, and then begins to make the expected turn and pulls away from the coast. So it, we'll be refining our forecasts here over the day today about how much wind, rain, and, how much surge we'll see on the southeast Atlantic coast for places like Savannah and Charleston and Myrtle Beach and Wilmington up to the Outer Banks, just to see what kind of impact we're going to see there. We've got, this heavy rain event here, next weekend in southeastern Louisiana, the Central Gulf. We'll see what that turns out to be. Here's the GFS, kind of the wind outlook. By Sunday, we've got, 10, 15 mile per hour winds over southern Georgia, the coastal plain of the Carolinas. Some of those work over into eastern Alabama, the Florida Panhandle. So we'll be refining our forecasts to make sure that we've got that covered. But, no strong winds expected in Alabama, certainly here through Wednesday. Now, by Thursday, it looks like there might be a tightening of the gradient, especially into the northeastern Gulf. We may see small craft advisories and could see our rip current risk on our eastern panhandle beaches increase into the high category, especially from Destin over to Panama City, into the eastern beaches there. Those are ones we'll have to watch. So keep that in mind. You see that trend kind of continues there. Certainly going to be a big rip current threat along the East Coast. You see we're even windy into the weekend over a good bit of the state. The rainfall outlook for Alabama, though, is paltry, almost nothing. I'm going to take you through 7 days of highs here real quickly. Above normal today, cooler readings on the eastern side. It looks more the same tomorrow. With that northeasterly flow, maybe the east is a degree or two cooler tomorrow, but we've still got some 90s on the western side of the state. Still finding 90s by Tuesday. But everybody's cooler by Wednesday, which is good news. We see a bit of, what might be a little bit of a wedge kind of effect as Imelda pulls away and that ridge builds in. Look at there, 70s by Thursday over the eastern part of the state. And I'm showing you this instead of just this typical 7-day graph, just so you get the idea. We might have a little taste of fall. Friday's looking kind of perfect. It might be a little breezy, but if we can push into the 70s by Friday and Saturday, that'll be quite nice. Might even see some lower 50s, even some upper 40s over the northern part of the state. Hey, if you're not into our Weather Brains podcast, you need to be. We record episode 1028. Monday night. We'll be joined by our old friend, Dr. John Neese from Penn State, who's part of the meteorology department up there, and his friend, Jeff Harding, who works on the battlefield at Gettysburg. And they've written a great book, Civil War history, that relates to weather. Tied the two together. We'll be talking to them on Monday night on Weather Brains, the weekly netcast that's all about weather. Of course, get it wherever you get your podcast. Well, that's your weather briefing for this Sunday. Notes on the blog. Jen will have a complete post for you there. I'll have updates throughout the day right here on the Alabama Weather Network.